A recent high-level visit just put a fresh spotlight on one of the most unique relationships in the world, the one between India and Bhutan. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what went down, what was agreed upon, and most importantly, what you, especially if you're an exam aspirant, absolutely need to know. Let's get right into it. This quote from Prime Minister Modi really gets to the heart of it. It's a great reminder that the India-Bhutan bond isn't just about geopolitics or trade deals, it's much deeper. It's built on shared values, mutual respect, and a real vision for peace and progress. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the context, why this relationship is so special. Then we'll dive into 3 key pillars of cooperation: energy, connectivity, and some brand new agreements. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a super focused section of key takeaways, designed to help you lock in all the important points for your exams. Okay, so first up, why was this visit such a big deal? Well, it wasn't just another routine diplomatic trip. This was about reaffirming a partnership that has really stood the test of time, and it happened at a moment that was pretty significant for both countries. Just look at this timeline. It shows an incredible level of consistency. Think about it. Right from the very first foreign trip back in 2014 to this massive financial commitment for Bhutan's development plan, the engagement has been constant. And this particular visit was extra special because it coincided with celebrations for the former king, who was a key architect of this modern India-Bhutan relationship. All right, let's get into our first pillar, and it's a huge one: energy. For a long, long time, hydropower cooperation has been the absolute bedrock of this partnership. And this visit, it just took things to a whole new level. And that new level, well, it starts with this number: 1,020 megawatts. Now, this isn't just some random figure. It represents a truly monumental achievement in their partnership, a project that was really the centerpiece of this entire visit. So what is that 1/20 megawatts? It's the Punatsangchhu-I Hydroelectric project, which was officially inaugurated during the visit. It's a joint project funded by a mix of Indian grants and loans, and that capacity is a massive boost. People often call it an enduring symbol of the friendship, and you can really see why. But it's not just about celebrating what's done. A healthy partnership is also about tackling challenges together. And a key outcome here was reaching an agreement to get back to work on the even bigger Punatsangchhu-I project, which is a 1,200 megawatt giant. It just goes to show there's a real commitment to see these huge projects through to the end. Okay, now let's move to our second pillar: connectivity. If energy is what powers the partnership, then connectivity is what physically weaves the two nations together. It opens the door for so much more economic activity and integration. Check this out. There are 2 new game-changing railway links in the works. Notice how they're different. The Kokrajar-Galefu line connects Assam to this amazing new economic hub in Bhutan. It's a bigger project, going to take about 4 years. Then you have the Banarhat-Samse link, a quicker 3-year project connecting West Bengal to a major industrial zone. So 2 very distinct but equally important links. And this is exactly why those hubs are so important. Galefu isn't just any town. It's the site for the super ambitious Galefu Mindfulness City, a truly visionary project. Samse, on the other hand, is being built up as an industrial powerhouse for things like dolomite and ferrosilicon. And to make all this work smoothly, a new immigration checkpost will be set up at Hathisar in India, making movement across the border much, much easier. And that brings us to our third and final pillar: expanding the partnership. This is where the relationship really starts branching out into new and vital areas, all backed by significant financial support from India. Okay, 3 major Memorandum Understanding, or MoUs, were signed. For those of you studying for exams, here's a really easy way to remember them. Just think of the word HER. H is for health and medicine. E is for renewable energy, so think beyond just hydropower to things like solar and wind. And R is for research, specifically a link between Bhutan's Pima Secretariat and India's top mental health institute, NIMHANS. So remember HER, health, energy, and research. Now, before we hit the next big number, let's quickly break down a term you'll hear a lot: a line of credit, or LOC. The simplest way to think about it is like a flexible loan that one country gives to another on really good terms. It's a key tool India uses to help its partners achieve their development goals. And that brings us right to this number: 4,000 crore rupees. This is the value of the brand new line of credit that India has extended to Bhutan. That's a huge financial commitment that's going to fuel their development projects and build critical infrastructure. Beyond all the economics and the infrastructure, the cultural bond was also strengthened in a really meaningful way. India has granted land in the sacred city of Varanasi for Bhutan to build its own temple and monastery. I mean, what a powerful gesture. It really reinforces that shared spiritual heritage we mentioned at the very beginning. All right, we've covered a ton of ground. Now let's distill it all down into the absolute must-knows. This is your high-yield revision guide, so pay close attention to the keywords here, because this is the stuff you really need to remember. First, the big projects and figures. You have to lock these in. The inauguration of the Punatsangchhu-II project at 1020 megawatts, the agreement to resume work on Punatsangchhu-I, and then the two massive financial numbers, a 4,000 crore rupee line of credit, and that overarching 10,000 crore rupee commitment for Bhutan's 13th five-year plan. Next up, connectivity. Super important. Remember the two rail links, Kokrajhar-Galepu, that's Assam to the Jalepu Mindfulness City, and Banarhat-Samse, which connects West Bengal to the Samse Industrial Hub, and of course that new immigration checkpost at Hadasar to make it all work. And finally, those agreements and cultural ties. Let's bring back our mnemonic, HER. That's the MoU on renewable energy, the MoU on health, and the mental health research link between Bhutan's Pima Secretariat and India's NMHNs. And don't forget that really powerful cultural diplomacy point, the land grant in Varanasi. And that brings us to the end. As India and Bhutan continue to build this incredibly strong partnership, it really makes you think. How will this stable, cooperative relationship ripple outwards and influence the wider, often complicated geopolitics of the entire South Asian region? Something to ponder. Thanks for joining me.